because I mean, BioLabs has been profitable.
You have to build it
from the beginning. I mean, you have never raised money.
We have not raised money.
You still haven't closed the round at all.
We have not raised any external capital. Correct.
Yes.
It's very liberating to be a profitable company. So it's interesting because on the one hand, I'm a venture capitalist and I want to invest in your company or in an entrepreneur's company and buy the equity.
Yeah.
But if I have a choice, I will not take other people's money if I don't have to, right? And if you're able, so a piece of public service announcement for any entrepreneur who's listening, if you don't have to take money, don't take money, right? If you're
take the least amount possible
to get you there. If you're able to build a profitable company on your own, that's a good way to do it because then you have the decision making. Then you can pursue what you want to do, and sort of make sure that you have profits. Because as long as you have profits, you can rule your business and you can rule your life. As soon as you lose money, things look very different. And as soon as you're out of money, you have to shut the door. So it's a careful balance, right? And it's not a bad thing to take other partners into your business to provide capital as long as you have a good arrangement with these providers of capital about like who does what, who has what level of control, what are you going to use the capital for? Are you using it to grow your revenues? Are you using it to conduct a piece of research and development which will lead you to an increase in valuation, a milestone? Are you looking to bring in capital that's smart capital? That's another big piece of like money is not the same from like the same dollar is not worth the same if you have an investor that brings in talent or connections or they can or other non-monetary value that can be very important and instrumental for your company.
I like that. I like that. I mean, I'm with Flat Bio now really trying to bootstrapping it and making profit zone versus Biotech where we raised money and we took us a long time to be profitable. I mean, even though it was on a small scale, not hundreds of millions, but the dynamism
is the same mechanics.
The mechanics is similar. I have to say, it's
sometimes it's the same struggles. It may be easier to raise more money, and then so it's the same. I mean, the same mechanics work, right? As soon as you have external investors in your company, they'll want to say in where you take your company. That's only fair, right? And
it's like your marriage,
absolutely
for a long term.
Absolutely,
you cannot kick out investors.
So it is important also for you, the entrepreneur, to look very closely at who are the potential investors in my company. Hopefully you have a choice. Unfortunately, in many cases, our entrepreneurs have no choice. They have to take the money from the first and only one that offers them. But if you do have a choice, use it and be very careful about like who do you allow to be on your board of directors? Who do you allow to have a blocking vote on your shareholder agreements? Like look into that. Don't just say, oh, I need the 5 million. I'll take it from anybody. Be very careful because it is like a marriage. It's a relationship. Every day you'll be having to run decisions by these people, and hopefully they will be supportive of your decisions. Hopefully they'll add value, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're driven by other interests.
Oh, it's misaligned.
You have sometimes the time horizon for their investment doesn't align with your interests, right? And then you're in trouble. They make you sell the company even though you want to build it further.
I like what you say, and I can double on this. I mean, my experience was Biotech. I mean, but it was definitely a big focus on people on who we let in. But I like your point a lot on like what are your options at the moment, and even for us at Biotech, we did have that many options, but we did say no to a few investors where we just didn't feel like it, and in hindsight, it was the right decision.
Good.
And especially, I think it's especially tricky with at the beginnings. I mean, you see it probably in your ventures. I mean, at the beginning, everything works. The first 1-2 years,
honeymoon period.
Yeah,
it's not even 2 years. It's like 2 months.
Hotter in Boston. Everything is faster. But once you get to like challenging paths of like a bridge, down valuation, or then a forced exit, or even just to exit. I mean, for me, one big reason was once you have money on the table, people act very differently.
Yeah.
And it's the same people, but once, and that's where having selected the right people, and it's not right for everyone, it's also really a fit.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference at the end.
And relationships matter. That's where, having been through this once or twice, relationships and experience do matter, right? I sound like an old person now, but it's helpful to have been through this once or twice, because now you're looking at the potential investor very differently, because you know what's going to happen during the time of the building of the business. You know what can happen during the exit of the business, and some of these events can be pretty nasty, right? And at the same time, it's hugely valuable to invest in relationships, to build trusted partners like that. And if you find that group, you could invest with them, or you could have them invest in your ideas in a serial fashion, and they come back for the next idea, whether you make the money or not. It's also as part of your, if you're an entrepreneur and there's an investor that comes to look at your business, you should also do diligence on them, right? And you should try to find the other entrepreneurs that this guy invested in previously, call them, find out what they have to say, especially with the ones that didn't work very well, right? Like, what happened? Did they change management? Did they fire the founder? How did they deal with adversity? How did they deal with trouble? And did they add value beyond the dollars? It's very important. And I see the mistake often by young teams, first-time teams, that they grab the first money that's on the table. And that's not always smart.